All right, so I went from fapping multiple times a week for 2.5 years straight whilst being on NoFap, whilst knowing all of the downsides of it, to not even having fapped once in the last 6-7 months from like April this year. And so what I want to talk to you about in this video is a key concept that I did not understand for a long time. And it is that you can feel the urge of fapping, but choose not to fap. I know that seems extremely simple, but let me explain. When you get the urge to fap, the temptation comes in. You might be in bed at nighttime or laying on the couch in the afternoon after school, anywhere. You have associated this urge with the behavior of fapping. Why? Because you have fapped a lot in the past after you've gotten this urge. And so your brain's natural inclination is to seek familiarity, which it will do through acting upon this urge in a way that you have done before, if that makes sense. And so basically your natural instinct when you're on NoFap but you're still relapsing is that when you get the urge, this battle starts, it just floods all over you. You got the devil and the angel on your shoulders, and you think to yourself, well, man, that girl that I saw in the gym last night, she was fit, bro. But then the other part of you says, no, we're on NoFap, we shouldn't be fapping. And so then you keep having this back and forth argument, fucking debate in your mind. And then what happens is that your decision fatigue overwhelms you. Decision fatigue is kind of like your willpower is drained when you have to make decisions all the time. Because like when you have this debate in your mind, every single time it comes back, it returns, the thought comes back, it increases the likelihood that you relapse. Because if there is a 10% likelihood that if you get an urge or like a sexual thought that you will relapse in this specific environment, the more times you get that shit, the higher the likelihood will go, right? That makes sense. And so I wanna just drill this mindset into you. It is absolutely okay to feel the urge, but still not act upon it. You are not a bad person for feeling the urge to have sex or to fap. Not at all. It's the complete opposite. It's an extremely natural and biologically sort of, evolutionarily fucking developed, like it's really natural to have. There's nothing wrong with you having it. If you're a fucking teenager or a young man, like in your 20s, whatever, of course you're gonna have it. Why are you mad at that? You don't have to go around your day being afraid of getting sexual urges. Don't, man. Enjoy having a fucking wood, morning wood. There's nothing, you don't have to act upon it. You have to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not even your body. You are merely your actions. And I know this kind of stuff might seem a bit woo-woo, but just think about it this way. Your mind can get these thoughts into, it can generate these kinds of thoughts, but that has nothing to do with how you act unless you choose to do it. The same thing with if you get an erection, especially if you're like a younger kid, like I'm 18, right? I get tons of erections just throughout the day, which you will get when you stay on NoFap, because you accumulate semen, you accumulate these kinds of natural tendencies within you. Because when you haven't fucked for a while, like biologically, your body wants to fuck. It wants to reproduce, right? Totally normal. I can get a fucking random like a random erection on the fucking bus or whatever. I'll just get a thought for 2-3 seconds and then boom, I'll feel it. I can still just sit there and do whatever the fuck I did before. Isn't that beautiful? And the thing is, as you go along this journey, as you keep progressing and you keep resisting the urges, the weaker this association between the sexual urges and fapping will be. And so at a certain point, for me, it was about like 3 months or something like that, like 90 days. That's why, by the way, my protocol that I've made, which is fucking sick, it's a step-by-step blueprint to quit fapping as a teenager. That's why it's named the 90-day NoFap protocol, because for me, after like 90 days, the thought of fapping didn't cross my mind, even when I got the sexual urges, even when I got the fantasies. The trigger to do the behavior of fapping did not cross my mind. And I think it's a beautiful place to get to, because this urge, this natural tendency amongst men is absolutely and utterly natural, and it is nothing to be ashamed of or to be we should never frown upon it. And so I just want to drill this mindset into you, because it took me way too long to learn that you can just feel things in this context. You can feel the urges, you can feel your erection, right? But you don't have to do anything. Like, visualize this, right? You are someone, you are your name, you're Jack, whatever. And then there's another guy in your brain who's just yapping and yapping and yapping. And he's talking about some bullshit. Oh, that bitch from high school, that guy from fucking the clip you saw the other day, that food, the restaurant you were at. Like, he'll just keep yapping. He is the one who creates and generates the thoughts in your mind. That is not you. You are merely the observer in this context. And so the thoughts that you hear in your mind, they are not you. They have nothing to do with you. You are your actions. I know this seems like so simple, right? But there's too many fucking people that don't understand this shit. And so that's why I'm passionate about this. Like, you are not your thoughts, bro. You don't have to indulge. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel anything just because you think stuff. Like, truly visualize yourself separating your mind from your thoughts. Whenever you get them, whenever you get some bullshit thoughts just pop into your mind, think to yourself, like, this is not me. This is neither good or bad. This just is. This is a thought. I don't have to act upon it. And just meditate back upon what the fuck you're doing anyway, right? And so this is why meditation is such a powerful habit. I've spoken a lot about meditation previously, but if you haven't heard me, then I want to quickly walk you through the process. So meditation, it is when you, at least how I do it, I sit down, close my eyes, breathe in and out, focus my attention on my breath, then my mind will wander. Then I realize that my mind has wandered, and I refocus my attention on my breath, and that's it. And the more times you go through that cycle, the stronger your willpower will be, and the more capable you will be to, when you get the thoughts, the sexual thoughts, think about something else. Think about the task at hand. Think about whatever you were doing previously. And then, like that, the urge to fap, the urge to fuck will disappear. Which, if that isn't always necessarily the best thing. If you're with a girl, for example, you might want to have that. But if you're not, if you're by yourself, you're grinding, you're locked in on this journey, right? You might not want to be thinking about that kind of stuff. You might want to stay focused. And if you're at risk of fapping, then having that ability, if you can activate that whenever you want, then it's fucking amazing, right? If you wanna get sexual and stuff, if you wanna have those kinds of thoughts in your mind for certain scenarios, sure, right? But you must have the ability to reject them, right? And so the next time you get these kinds of urges, just say to yourself, this is not me.